a complete hour to spend here as I have an obligation here this evening. But I wanted to come on, even if it's for a half hour, 40 minutes. I think that's more than enough time to get the point across. Um, Not sure how many people will be here. I just literally put the live out and I'm immediately starting it within like 5 minutes, so it doesn't give it time to go out anywhere. But I want to do this. I want to get this out in a concise fashion. And depending on the back and forth will be, depending on how many times that I pause from what I'm saying. And the length of this, it'll pretty much be determined by how many people are here with me and exactly what we need to go over. But we do have the Fed rate cut decision tomorrow. I misspoke earlier. I keep forgetting that the clocks move back. So the Fed... What? You don't have any school tomorrow? Who's calling me? Baker. Hello? Why do we have a snow? Why do we have a? Why is there a snow day?
Because of the snow that's coming through.
Oh yeah. Okay. So my son has a snow. We have a snow day. We have a. It's our first snow day of the year. Yeah, we have some snow coming tomorrow, and we already got a few inches today, so it's gonna be pretty ugly. So T's gonna be, I think, happy. Julie, he could have a night with me now. A legitimate one, and he don't need to wake up now. So they have a school day tomorrow because we're gonna get some pretty severe snow tomorrow. Oh yeah, we have his snow pants and stuff. He loves it. He loves doing all of this. I'm actually pretty excited. We haven't had a snow day and it seems like forever. But good evening, everybody. I appreciate you being here. If you found your way here, I'm out in my living room right now. In the setting, we got the little Christmas tree behind us and things like that. But everybody I see saying pump and dump, not exactly right now. It's not exactly a pump and dump. Actually, what happened is we had a pretty quick move up, and we're trying to get some kind of validation. We talked about back testing the 20-day possibly earlier. Now, could this be a reversal in the 4-hour and we're about to turn around? Absolutely. But don't just, think that it's a guarantee at this point. But we have a very interesting decision starting. What I was saying is I misspoke earlier because I had not considered the fact or even thought about the fact that our clocks moved back an hour since the last Fed meeting. So I apologize to some who were saying that it was at 1 because it is. Which means now the decision is going to be at 1:45 p.m. instead of 2:45. Or should I say Jerome Powell's meeting's at 2 p.m. when he speaks. So, instead of 3. So yeah. So who's ever been saying that, you're right. Wait a minute, what is it normally at? 2, then it's at 1. What's the normal time? No, it's normally at 3. Okay, can somebody validate on the Eastern Standard Time? Before we flip the clocks back, what were the meetings at? I'm having a brain fart. Was it 3 o'clock? Told you I've been dealing with a lot of stuff today. Which is kind of nice that we get a break tomorrow because there's been a lot of stuff. I don't know how many inches, honestly. I honestly haven't been paying attention. If I'm being honest, it's actually changing to get worse for tomorrow as we speak. But the last time I checked, I didn't think he wasn't going to have school for it. That's why I'm actually surprised that Julie said that. I'm trying to see right now if they updated it. Now, the one thing that is going to make this interesting is because of the temperature when it starts, it's actually going to start with freezing rain. So I think it's more for the, because I feel like the snowfall totals have gone down. But I know we're going to get a bout of possible freezing rain with this too, but it's supposed to be about 3 inches at minimum. It says 1 to 3, but where I live, it's going to be roughly 3 inches, if not more, with the possible mixture of like the rain and stuff. But it's not like when I was a kid. We would have been in school for what's coming tomorrow. But it's a lot different now. Things are a lot different. A lot of people saying pump and dump harder. Very possibly could be. Very possibly could be. For XRP, I still believe, as long as it's over this area, it's in a bullish megaphone. I still believe that weekly is way oversold. And generally, you do not, never, do you end a bull market when you're oversold in the weekly. Because, I mean, you get into a crypto winter. Now, we're not in a bull market right now, but I'm saying we never usually end here. It doesn't end here. This is usually the start of a bottoming consolidation. The only question is do we have to melt down on all of these? And as you can see for XRP, on Binance, you can throw it out the freaking window because Binance is manipulated as hell. This one's actually more stable, but you still got to throw that one out of the window. That $1.16 one to me is the most credible one. Even this one's not bad. The one that came down here, this exchange held pretty nice. But we have a lot of stuff with the rate cut. Now, for everybody who thinks that this drop just now confirms a pump and dump, it's actually the opposite. As of right now, we didn't confirm anything. We're trying to validate a move up. Had we have kept going unabated and XRP got to 218 to 222 approximately, then I would agree. But the fact we stopped before one key thing could happen and we played it true is respectable in this case. It's respectable. It means that we're still trading within the range and we haven't gone outside ourselves. This is respectable. We came out in the 1 hour. Now we did a golden cross and now we're back testing. Never came up to this 222. This is a respectable move up and a legitimate back test that is actually warranted if we want to continue. Don't count the chickens before the hatching's already occurred. So to say that, I mean, I've never said it like that, but I guess it'll work. It all means the same. All I'm saying is let's not be so pessimistic, all of us, including myself, that it's just going to break down before it happens. I'll talk bearish because I have to talk bearish, but let's let it happen. Now, this is one of those cases where I say, let it happen. Let it happen. Anything that happens in this range, who cares? Who cares? As long as it stays on the top side of this yellow line, fantastic. And that shows you, even on this, $2. And in the worst case scenario, yeah, if we fall through here, now we got to start talking 185 again if we want to stay bullish. Now it could be as low as 180, 177, but you get the picture. But it's not over yet. Like this, the rotation it's in right now, even if it were to break, this doesn't even really matter. This is just, are we going to break up for this? There's a possibility here, like I've been talking the last about week and a half if you've been listening. I always tell you guys, around my birthday is when it's either the end of a little move or it's going to be the start of something. And right now, tomorrow is the 10th. It happens to be the Fed rate cut decision tomorrow. If this works out, we could have a scenario here where for 2 weeks roughly until Christmas, maybe a week and a half if it takes a day or two for us to consolidate down and then push back up, we should have a period of 10 to 14 days leading into Christmas where we should pump. There's a lot of topside liquidity and we've hammered the hell out of the shorts. It's about time they hammer the longs and they know it. And they also know that people are basically done. They know it. They can feel it. Like looking at this chart, I feel so good right now just on the fact that you can see a dynamic build here where it did put in a nice inverse head on, not just XRP, but a lot of different things. A lot of different things. Tomorrow's the escrow unlock for Linea. That is true. We'll have to consider that with Linea. Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Do we know what the unlock this month is, Crypto Cooter? I only ask you because I trust you. So I don't need to do the research if you already know it. Heck yeah. Oh yeah, let him sleep now. This is beautiful. He needed it, Julie. No, he doesn't. He's going to be pissed tomorrow, isn't he? That's the only thing with my son. He loves school. Like, he's special needs, yes, and he's nonverbal, but he freaking loves school. He's a special little kid. Good evening. 6:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, December 9th, the day before my dad's 67th birthday. I'm XRP future millionaire. And I reside in the great state of Michigan. I believe I said it's 6:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If not, oh yeah. John Wiseman, isn't it crazy that that's down to 69.3 on the gold-silver ratio? And Julie, silver actually had a daily close today over $60. Silver is at $60.62. Julie's a genius.
I like doing your live stream.
I do too. I like being in the open so I can talk to you. I like my lives being out in the living room too better because I can talk and have more stuff around me. But Julie was a genius. She dismissed what a lot of people said, and she listened to basically, the structure and foundation of what I've come to know and what I kind of teach everybody. And she decided, to invest in gold and silver instead of going a lot of other routes, like trying to find a financial advisor and all. She used what I was saying. And she was smart. She bought silver at 19, and she bought gold at about 1900 was her purchase. And, she did a decent purchase with her savings, and it was her savings. And all I can say is I can honestly say she's doing a really good job with that. I mean, she's doubled whatever she put in silver, and she's 2.1 times what she put in, or 1.2 times what she put in the gold. So for everybody who thought she didn't know what she was doing and trying to advise her otherwise, she actually followed her gut. And trust me, this was a big one, especially because she's injured and she can't work anymore. And it was nice that she could put some of what she earned towards good use for herself. And now she can sit back and go, holy crap, how much did I make over the last, when did you buy it? 2 years? No,
It was after Christmas.
not last year, the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like October, November of 23. Not bad for a couple years. Not bad for a couple years. But yeah, so she knows a thing or two. And she's patient. Oh, she's patient. So gold and silver is perfect for her. I'm glad that she not listened, because I wasn't telling her what to do, but was listening at what I was, the objective. Because she's seen me doing it myself in small amounts for so long. And then it's like, well, if he believes in it that much, maybe I should. Anyhow, John, thanks for the $4.99 donation. And also being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge, says, what's your thoughts on liquidating the shorts? They've been doing that a lot here. You're right about that, Crypto Cooter. That is the one bad part about silver, is not thinking you own enough. But think about it. If you bought it at 20, 15, 25, 30, and now it's at 60, feels a hell of a lot like you own a hell of a lot more than you did before, right? That's what I'm having to comprehend right now. Like my gold, because I bought gold before 1600 as well, back a few years ago when we had a big drop. Before I started doing this, it was around 13. I think the lowest I ever bought it was 13, 14, somewhere around there. But silver was down at what, $10 to $12 when I was first buying it. And looking back on those purchases, even though I couldn't buy a lot, I'd buy so much every week, a small amount. And then I started doing monthly purchases for a long time. But looking back on all that, you start to see and you're, holy shit. And it's the same thing, guys. This is the thing. It's such a good lesson for investing. Look at XRP. For how long were we afraid, but we were still within ourselves when we said we understand what's going to happen here with the price. It might take time, but you want to be buying it in the cents, not dollars. Remember when I'd always say that under 50 cents or lower was my message to the world with XRP after I advised everybody after we got in 21 before the bull run, or the big run up. And when we got out at $1.66, because it was clear that it was over. It wasn't just XRP, Bitcoin topped as well. So it was a nail in the coffin. But then we had the message under 50. It's the same thing with everything. So now you look back and like, man, I was buying it at 34, 38. And now it's at 210. So it's like for everything that I could buy like 10,000, or for every 1,000, here's a better way. For every 1,000, it was $340 or $350 or 400, or let's do it from 50 cents. Every $1,000 was 500, or every 1,000 tokens was $500. Now every 1,000 tokens is $2,100. That's crazy. You're talking about you could have bought it for $500 for the same that cost you $2,000. That's smart trading and investing. You want to be buying it when it's at those prices. So you take that same fundamental understanding with gold. Gold and silver taught me this. XRP made me live it. It's easy to hold gold and silver when you know it's a good store of value against the US dollar. But it's a whole different kind of testicular fortitude and gut wrenching when it's with XRP, because there's no earnings. It's just based on your own faith and what you know it is to be real with it. But now we've got past that. So now it's like, okay, we've done our job with gold and silver. And even with the mining stocks, it was the same thing. We were getting in them. And yeah, you can jump in and out, but you got to be careful because it's got to be quick. And you don't really want to. But we were getting in them and like, you know, some of them just blow my freaking mind. Like seeing Pan America Silver at $48.41 on the close today. And we were buying it at 16, 18, and 22. And that's what I mean. Like now all of a sudden, it amplifies it. Barrett was at 14. Yeah, that's gold.com now. I hate that they switched it. I like seeing the name Barrett. But anyhow, it's all of these. And it's that same philosophy when you're investing. You want to get it at the times when it's cheap. When nobody wants the shit. When it's all oversold in the weeklies and the monthlies are going chaotic to the downside. You want to buy it when nobody else wants it. See, now everybody else wants probably starting to, well, maybe not yet, but they're starting to look like it's got the attention in the mining sector. Silver's got the attention of everybody at $60. I was punching the fucking desk at 16 and 18, begging my audience because this moment was coming and so much better. And everybody kept saying, oh, it's always got rejected at 50. 41-year cup and handle. It eventually breaks out. And we broke out. And I don't know what's going to stop us. We have catalyst. We have artificial inflating of the money supply. We have the bond market is going to implode so bad if they cut rates here. Tomorrow, they're either going to ignite the greatest run in the history of real money, not a unit of debt like the US dollar or whatever note you guys hold in your native countries. And I hate that people would leave during this, but it's so real and so raw and so true that I need you to hear this. They can either ignite the biggest market collapse in the history of our lifetime, let's just say, for anybody watching me, by simply not cutting rates. God forbid they raise rates, which they could never do, but that would be another way. Well, if they do 25, we're going to get the... It's going to be the moment, because you're not going to know. If they do 50 basis points, gold, silver, it might not be immediate, because they might do the backwards response, like an artificial pull down. Gold and silver in the bond market... Gold and silver is going to go out of control. The bond market, what came out that I was listening to, and this is where it gets to, and I'm so appreciative for everybody who's part of this audience that appreciates when I talk like this outside of just the charts. The bond market, it came out, and I can't remember the guy's name. It's not even relevant, but he's the guy who comes out and says whether we have liquidity in the banking sector, and the last time he came out in 2018 and said that we did not have proper liquidity, they had to basically inject a whole bunch of capital. Now he came out and said, we're going to need $40 billion routinely to bail these banks out over a 6-month period, happening with $40 billion injections of capital. Jamie Dimon came out and said $20 billion. And he's telling you it's even double that. So what's the real number? So the bond market, the banks have no liquidity. So that's why I said that when you're banking right now, all you should be banking with, if you have a local credit union that you trust, okay, that's one thing. Or if it doesn't say Chase, if it doesn't say like Charles Schwab, if it doesn't say Morgan Stanley, when what you're dealing with, if it doesn't say, like if it says, what's some of these shit banks? I don't know. Name a crappy bank around you. But if it's a crappy bank and it's not somebody with real tug, you might want to pay attention. It's the reason why I closed some of my other accounts and all I do is deal with Chase now, even with my investment portfolio for JP Morgan, the trading app even, because yeah, we got to play the game with the ones who are playing the game. You feel what I'm saying here? So don't go outside yourself. Same reason we don't trade here anymore on no KYC exchanges. You got to deal with the deck of cards that are dealt to you. Otherwise, you start running into the red tape. See, that's like going on the dark web in the no KYC is what I equate it to now, because you have no recourse. They can literally just say, oh, you're in a banned region. You tried to get around the rules. We don't deal with the U.S. like this. We're purging you and we're stealing your stuff. What are you going to do? Call the government? You're going to call a lawyer? They wouldn't touch this with a 37-foot pole. You know? Even if that is where Bruce Jenner's manhood ended up, they still wouldn't touch it with a 30-foot pole. It's just, that's how it goes. So, it's crazy. Oh, it's XRP fam. Guess what? I got some news for you. Jamie Dimon, he pulled the reverse trade. There was a while ago, I talked about it a couple of years ago. Yes, he was doing a lot of shorts, but he was secretly, and we got to go back in the documents and I'd have to try to find them. But he was stockpiling actual bars of silver, like as far back as 2017 well, I don't want to say the Chase hat, but they were starting to buy ounces of gold or silver over, so they were shorting it, keeping the price artificially down for decades. But under his toolage, under Jamie Dimon, you could see a sudden shift, and yeah, they might have been shorting the contracts, but they were buying the physical silver, especially from 21, 20, and it started to increase. But at a certain point, you got to understand, my friend, they can try to do this all the time as long as there's not a lot of trading volume on the real, the paper doesn't matter. They can trade paper all day. What they can't risk is a run up in real physical silver, not from retail, because retail doesn't give a shit. They still don't understand that there's a difference between money and unit of debt, an IOU, a piece of paper that guarantees you payment. Remember, the USA was on a gold standard long ago when this United States dollar was created. That was literally a unit of debt, so we didn't have to carry around gold and silver in our pocket and have to trade it. They gave you a unit of debt equal to what you would have, and you could take delivery with this coupon, let's just say. Now, when they got off the gold standard, they tricked everybody and said this is real money, but it's not backed by anything. It's no different than if I printed up testicular fortitude dollars, TDs. Okay, Tom's dollars for the faint of heart. The TDs, I print up some TDs, and it has no artificial value, but we just pretend it does. But at one time, TDs were backed by silver, and people were like, oh my God, like, let me get some of those TDs. And then I simply said, we're not backed by silver anymore. How about this? We're backed by Bitcoin. You hear that? That's people running for the exit to go buy the real silver. So, but the only reason, guys, like everybody always asks me, Tom, why don't you buy silver and gold still? I technically do, but I do it through the miners now. I felt good about what I had in silver and gold, especially with Julie's nice investment with us. And that was a real big one for me too, because me and Julie have been together 11 years, and when she made that move, it was just like, wow. We are a good team, because she understood it from a bigger standpoint. Just like she understood finally what I was doing from small pieces, even when we were broke. Because I'm trying to solidify something for when we're in our 50s and 60s and even longer. And when you start looking at it, when I started doing it, I was like 34 or 35 maybe. So it hasn't been that long, but there's been a lot of stuff that happened. But yeah, you guys are welcome for the information. I'm trying to make it hit for real. So, oh man, it's unbelievable though when you start to see the way, but you have to know it from a bigger picture. And I always preach it like it's good to know from silver perspective. It's good to know from the unit of debt, but I understand. Like I think we had this moment of clarity and this moment of I believe Yahweh and Yeshua has visited us during these lives many times, even for my friends that aren't religious. You still believe in something more than yourself, and if you don't, start to. That's a higher power in itself. So it doesn't matter if you don't believe in what we all believe in, but believe in something greater than yourself, which means if you believe in something greater, you have spiritual belief. So as long as we have that spiritual connection, you don't have to believe in a holy one. You have to believe in the understanding that it's more than just us. It's higher than just us. So right now on that step, when we're looking at this market, we've got to look at three things if we really believe that we're not going to break out anytime soon. You got to look at three things. One, please get a fundamental understanding of the stochastic RSI and just throw it in the weekly for me. And then you can validate it with the monthly, but just throw it in the weekly. If it says overbought, like we're way up there and we're way overbought, okay. We've got a problem and the way it's set up is not going to be okay. And the reason I don't usually use indicators, but the stochastic RSI I use for one reason. It is it's probably the most sensitive indicator I've ever seen. It is super sensitive to the immediate data. Unlike the RSI that weights it more along the back end, this is like front loaded. Everything that's happening in the here and now right in front of us, it's loading it in the data. And you're like, holy shit balls, look what's happening. So, just get used to that. Get used to that. So, and we can look at it from XRP, like the 4 hour, you're like, oh, God, it's over. But the 4 hour doesn't even matter to me. That's just if I'm making an entry. The weekly, on the other hand, to see XRP, I'm not going to be able to say this much longer because it's forming the hook. We're forming it. And yeah, it can come down, but even if it comes down again, it's just going to form this. Oh my God. If I was building a reversal of reversals, this would be the reversal I would build. We've been in this consolidation way oversold since October and now November, December. The last time we were this oversold, believe it or not, you have to go back to April. And April is when we had that nice spike. But if you want to go back before this re-push up, be honest with yourselves. If you skip this area, the last time we were in this area was October of 24. What happened in October of 24? I don't know. Did we maybe go from a nice 48 cents or so all the way up to over $3 and a series of perpetual beauty? I mean, I have never been so happy to see so many people think it's over since 23. 23, everybody thought I was freaking nuts when I bought everything. And it was in the same situation as now. They announced quantitative easing tightening was ending. It took about 3 calendar months for it to officially break out. But we had results that were going up and down until finally we went. And then it came out that it was all bullshit. And then it went. But the point is we had a fantastic and beautiful run. And then 1 year later, we came back down, formed the W, and then we had the breakout moment. And that's what we're looking for. We're back in that same consecutive nonsense. Everybody, it's over. But everybody wanted to buy for the last 12 months when it was on the way down, when we were trying to say don't buy until the bottom. Well, now that it's come down to probably more than likely a bottom with that wick on October 10th, and everybody's afraid. Everybody's afraid. We're all afraid. So afraid. We're so afraid. I learned how to invest some time ago now. And seeing it never changes. It doesn't matter if I'm trading gold, silver, mining stocks, oil, exploration companies, emerging markets, crypto. Doesn't matter. It does not, guys, it does not matter. The same market psychology always plays true. When everything is pumping, when there's extreme freaking greed, everybody buys. The local gas station guy says, oh, this is the easiest goddamn, oh, I'm sorry. This is the easiest damn trade I've ever seen. I got to tell everybody that they need to buy this asset because they're guaranteed to get rich. And for a while, any idiot looks like and it's true. Then all of a sudden you go, and then that's when we shine the real ones. So right now we're in the, nobody wants this crap. It's extreme fear, severely oversold. Let's see what the fear and greed index is right now. And I know we still got to wait 27 minutes for this to be released. Still in extreme fear. Now with what happened today, 22, it's probably fair that it would stay somewhere around here. But it did have an artificial pump up, so that's going to be metriced in. Oh, yeah. See, that's the other thing. I love it. John, or who said that? Dan, now everyone following into silver at all-time highs. And we talked about this for months that was going to happen. And now in crypto, when nobody wants to buy the lows, and guess what? The truth is, some people can't buy the lows because they're so freaking screwed right now because they were buying a dip that wasn't a dip. All it actually was a correction from an all-time high or a big move up. So you can't buy that. You have to wait for the historic, and we got it. Historic liquidation. Somebody in my live last time said, why don't you flex, Tom? Are you have you not been putting the work in the gym? And that's not true. That's not true. I have been putting the work in fact. I'm not much of a flexer. I like to kind of do things in secret, you know. But I can flex. You know, I'm not afraid to flex. I've been working. You know, it's getting there somewhere. Where's it at? Right there? Oh, yeah, you can see. See? You can see. I've been working. It's not. You can't really see in the screen, though, because I'm on a small screen, but it's there. It's definitely there. Been a lot of work, but I'm not on steroids, so it's going to take time. It's been about 3 years. Let's see. Tom, if XDC pops after tomorrow is our first stop, it's like 5.1 cents, John. 5.1 cents, I believe it is, for XDC. I actually like what's happening right now in the market. FYI, everybody, I'm very happy with the play today because it went all the way up and then it crashed back down. I loved it. I'm not gonna lie, I freaking love what happened today because all we're doing is validating the move within. So the move up would get us somewhere around probably 5.1, you know, at minimum. Because if it breaks out of here, we should be coming up to 5 and then 5.13. But that's just the start. Thoughts of us running to 250 then 140? Highly doubt it. We'd have to go up to 265, I think, to make it appropriate for a drop down that far if we were going to get rejected. So I don't think it would stop at 250. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, so what the hell do I know? I just think if we were going to get a rejection, you'd have to break this megaphone up to the top side first, and that would get you somewhere about 260-ish. And then if you came back down, what did you say, 150? I mean, depends how far you're saying how long it's going to take to get down there. I think we're in a megaphone, so technically you can't break this support. Otherwise, it invalidates my thesis, and then we're fucked. If you break this to the downside, it's over. A bullish megaphone being a bearish megaphone, if that's in fact what this is, because I think it is. Obviously, it's got to go up there for validation at some point. But a unsuccessful trip up from here and a breakdown underneath. Right now we're saying $1.85-ish, but you can see how it easily goes $1.77. Down here it's $1.72 by Christmas. If it breaks this, I mean, you're easily talking about a dip down here to retest whatever the low wicks were on each of these on their individual exchanges. But Oh, I know, Dan. I've been doing the same thing. I've been begging. I felt like I'm a broken record. Whenever I beg, it must be close when things are gonna happen. Because I was begging with crypto for people to do it. I was begging with silver. I remember I would come on here and what the hell is going on here now? Come on, TradingView. What the hell is this? What? How did we get to this? I was gonna say I put the indicators up there. That's so weird. TradingView is suspect now sometimes, but anyhow, we've also got like this. If you look at it like this, we've got that support started. It's squeezing. We're basically squeezing right now. We're in an inside-out style wedge. They're so unpredictable. Because we're basically converging between a bearish and bullish pattern simultaneously. We just don't know what to do. We're inside of, are we going bearish or bullish? We break out of here, we're going to have some fun. Yeah, 255 is fine, hustle. Who said that? I think you asked the question about, yeah, 255 is fine. Even 250 is fine. My only thing I was disagreeing is I was saying we could go higher. But if we did get rejected there is no doubt about it that we could have a sudden drop. Oh, a nice drop, in fact. And that could be the fake out if it happens. I think a lot of people are getting kind of bullied today, honestly. I've seen a lot of people buying to sell, to sell, to buy, to buy, to sell. It's not a trading day. Not anymore. It was a trading day when we had that drop earlier. But as of now, you kind of got to wait and see because... To be honest with you, the market makers know they got us by the dick. Excuse me. By the majestic jellies. They've got us by the grotesques. There we go. They know they've got us by the grotesques right now. But you got to have a little confidence in your life and you'll be fine. Even confidence won't cut it. You got to have confidence. That's that extra bit of confidence when you probably should think otherwise and then you go against the grain. That's confidence. No, you're not going crazy. Because if it validated a rejection there, I think you're dead on. What's the odds that I mean, if you'd have to break down the structure, obviously, but it's not unheard of to go back down to where you're talking about. And honestly, even if it didn't go all the way back down there, it wouldn't be the end of the world either. Okay. I think for the first almost 40 minutes, I think we did a good job here. See, it was necessary for us to come back on. I firmly believe that. I know I didn't get to a lot of comments. I so apologize. Define says, Tom, I see it too, brother. It's not over. And thanks for being in Tom's already 6+ months with the XP Predictor, Define, and also a very trusted mod in here in the Telegram along with Crypto Cooter. Also, I see Frankie Fresh out here. Thanks for being in Tom's already 6+ months with the XP Predictor. I hope you and Janine are doing freaking fantastic. And I hope Janine's having a great day. It makes me happy to know when she is. What, Julie? She's calling?
She called
About what?
for Christmas.
What about it? On Christmas?
No, Dad.
We don't know how T's going to be the day after Christmas.
Well, you can stay home.
I don't want to stay home. I like...
Ron, come on, stay.
We'll figure it out then? Okay. But I like going places for Christmas. You like going places for Christmas.
She wants some nostalgic 90s Christmas.
Oh, I'm in.
Yes.
Nostalgic 90s. Now we're talking. As a matter of fact, when I was when we got our washer and dryer, new ones today, on top of our other one was Super Mario Kart from the Super Nintendo and Super Mario 3 from the Nintendo. The cartridges, Julie. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I know. I guess
Super
that's
Nintendo?
Super Nintendo Mario Kart game. I put it in the drawer.
Super Nintendo
And
that
Super
works.
Mario 3 for the Nintendo.
Jamie has a Super Nintendo that works.
Yeah, they probably have Mario Kart then.
I don't think so. We never played.
Tom, the third Christmas. Hot Wheels. Oh, hey, a $10 donation from I Hustle Harder Than You. He's sending a donation for tea, Julie, for Hot Wheels. $10. Wasn't that nice? And I forgot. Julie said thank you. That was super generous. I'm going to Amsterdam for Christmas. Okay, UK Phil. Don't do anything too crazy. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So Bad. Going to Amsterdam, Julie, for Christmas. UK Phil, you're sending me and Julie to Amsterdam, you generous son of a bitch. How am I supposed to think? I swear this community is so generous. No, I'm just kidding. I'd probably be afraid to get on the plane anyhow. Remember my dream? Anyhow, H-Bar. If you're a fan of H-Bar, honestly, it's either we're in a bear flag right here, or we're getting ready to go back up to around 20 cents or more. That's the bottom line. The bottom line is we're either coming down to hunt the rest of this wick. I gotta start thinking about this again. I had it from 4.7 cent on average, and I sold it when it was way up there. And I just said I'd buy it when I felt like it was at the cheapest it could come down. Lord have mercy if I don't feel like we're starting to get towards there for some reason. Now the daily is still got, it could work. The weekly though, scary because it's starting around that W bottom. I'm telling you, they only do it for so long. This is basically our margin of error right now. And this is starting to eke towards that oversold now. We're starting to get into some range here now. Interesting. This is a tough, like, H-bar eventually, we could be at the bottom of this formation again. It's got bottoming vibes here, but at the same time we need volume because this could be a bear flag. Like it's got, obviously we have to invalidate a bear flag structure. That looks like hell. Example. We've got to invalidate this, everybody. We have to make sure we're not in a bear flag. So we have to make sure we break to the top side of this. If we get clear of this, we're in business. So someone will be like, Tom, should you buy now? Should you wait? Well, I mean, the proper approach would be to make sure it gets over 14.5, but then it's up from 13.9. Or the other theory would be you would buy the uptrend every time it hits it. So right now it's 13.1, but it's converging. It's not like it's way down here still at 12.2 or way up here at 15.6. We're converging. Now, is that a descending wedge? Or is that a bear flag? Right now, it wouldn't be a bear flag. If it was breaking down, it would be a bearish pennant. You have higher highs and lower highs simultaneously makes it a pennant. FYI. Now, is that a bearish pennant or a bullish pennant? Or is that a wedge? You know, all of these things can be discussed for eons and eons and eons. That's the beauty of technical analysis. There's many different ways to look at these. Many, many different ways. In fact, a different way to look at this right now would be to get off the wick and do it like this. See? Small differentials. But yeah. A lot of these profits have been buying a big pump before a dump and then the buyback after for a bigger run. Not a fan of those type of YouTube channels, but also Bo called silver to 60 and above. Well, any idiot could call silver to 60 and above. That doesn't make you a rocket scientist. Anybody can call anything. You know, that doesn't make him a rocket scientist. You got to judge him on his body of work. If I throw 16 shit balls, one of them might end up turning into something on accident. Just on the pure luck that I actually said one out of the 16 shit balls, I said something about gold. or silver, and I got a lucky target. I judge him on his whole body of work. I don't believe in the ones who are prophets that say big pumps to dumps. It doesn't work that way. If they were such big profits, why the hell weren't they telling you about XR? Like, a lot of these people came out talking about big jumps on XRP and pumps when it was at $3. Where were these freaking profits at 30 cents the year before? That's an honest question. They didn't come out until it was already 10x. Anybody can be a prophet when it's that high. Wasn't I a prophet when I said gold or silver would be at $60 and an altcoin 90 something back when it was at 17? I showed all of this a long time. Doesn't that make me a prophet, or does that just make me lucky? I don't call myself a prophet, though. See, I just let the work speak for itself, and then I let my audience decide, or let whoever watches it decide. I hustle harder than you, says. Not many have called tops bottoms like you have, brother. Big pro. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All these, but yeah, I mean, I've noticed that it's everywhere. You get a lot of these people, but then what do? They disappear when it gets tough. They all disappear because that's the moment of opportunity. When everybody's disappearing is a good thing. When they're running their mouths too much, you're probably in a shitstorm. The good news is right now they're all scared and telling you not to buy. Remember? They told you not to buy the historic drop and ride that huge pump back up. Oh, let's see what happens. No, let's not see what happens. We got to get rid of some of these overextended short positions now because everybody thinks they're making easy money. Not going to happen in the perpetual market. See, that's why I respect you on that, because a lot of them claim to hear God's word, but I'm hesitant to trust those people. I don't like seeing it everywhere either. It's no different than, haven't you seen the time traveler videos? Always claiming to be from a different time and yada, yada, yada. So I put all the scammers and the con artists in the same category. And then at the end of the day, I just say, you know what? These are the reason why we know it's going to do what they say it's not going to do. But now everybody's jumping on board, saying certain things about it. I think they artificially manipulate everybody's perception of where XRP is going to go because they don't want you to settle. Think about it. Do you know how many people in my audience that bought at 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 cents will sit here until they're blue in the face and tell you, if XRP doesn't get to $1,000, it's a pile of shit and I'll never sell it until it does? Well, you just bought into the biggest ruse of all times. You're telling me if you bought it at 45 cents and it goes up to $13, you're pissed? Yeah, I'm pissed. What a pile. It's not even worth my time. From 45 cents to 13, are you on crack? You tell me what other business venture you can put in at 45 cents and it'd be at $13 and you're not happy. I mean, what are we on, freaking bozo land? That means for every $1 you invested, just to put it in perspective, that would be, for every $1 you invested, it would be like they gave you $13 back. For every $100 you invested, they gave you $1,300 back. That's not good enough, this pile of shit. For every $1,000 you invested, they'd give you 13 grand back. For every $10,000 you invested, you get 130 grand back. For every $100,000 invested, you'd get 1.3 million, but that's not good enough. God, no. That's what they got everybody thinking. Even right now, they got people thinking at $2 that it was a waste of time if they bought it at 30 or 20 or 50 cents. How is it a waste of time? Even if you didn't sell anything when it was up at 370. I mean, you paid 50 cents on the dollar, and now they're paying you $2.10 on the dollar to get it back. So basically, you bought it for 50 cents on the dollar, now they got to pay you $2.10 to get it back. Who made the good deal and who didn't? I'd say the guy who bought it at 50 cents made a great deal. The Cannabis Podcast, you missed a good live. That's it. That's all you missed. It was a good live. We talked real. We talked real. Yeah, it's been a rare one, honestly. It's been a good one. Not that they're not all good, but it's just been it's been a good one. So, but Julie, what time are you gonna go do his mail? Do you think just a few minutes?
He's shaking
Is he
head.
still shaking head? Oh, we don't have to rush now because he's got no school. What time does Scar go back? Oh shit! What time does the? All right, I'm gonna shut this off in a minute. Julie's gonna be taking Scar back, but I want to go. I gotta go anyhow. I got my obligation. But we did a great 50 minutes. I had a lot of fun here this evening. Make sure to hit that like button and share this so more people can see this. But thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. It's going to be ultra volatile tomorrow. Jerome Powell speaks not at 2:40 or 3 p.m., 2 p.m. tomorrow because the clocks went back an hour since the last in the USA since the last Fed meeting. So instead of the news coming out at 2 of the decision, or 2:45-ish, it's probably going to come out around 1:45-ish, and then we'll be able to see Jerome Powell at 2 instead of 3, I believe. So, if I had a pile of cash right now, would I sink it into H-bar or XDC for the greatest returns in the next 12 months? Me, just because of where they've come off the bottom. I know for a fact H-bar has come off the bottom from around 3.7 cents. And it's sitting at 13 cents, as where XDC came off the bottom around 2.7-ish. But that's irrelevant, actually, at this point. I think, me personally, I would probably go with XDC. Well, not probably, I did in that case. Is there a right or wrong answer? I don't know. I personally have more faith in XDC. But I do love H-bar. Like, it's not the end of the world, but I think XDC is in a way more desirable spot at this point. Just if you look at it from the weekly perspective, I mean, we're both in very desirable spots. You're splitting hairs at this point. But I don't think you can. At the end of the day, I think they're both can't miss. I think and we're getting to a point now with H-bar. And yeah, it can still push down more, but we're getting to a spot where if this W reversal starts to play out here, what ends up happening is it goes quick back up. And we'll be back at, it comes to the, do you want to pay $1,300 or $1,400 or $1,390 for 10,000 tokens? Or how about this? Do you want to pay $139 for 1,000 tokens? Or if it comes back up here and it does rotate at some point, do you want to end up paying if it comes back? Because right now it's at support structure within the 10%. Or do you want to buy it at $220 per 1,000 tokens? Because that's when your mindset will get into the gambling mode when it gets back up there. You're going to start to get into the, oh shit, fear of missing out now, FOMO. But it's at that point. And if we look at XDC in comparison, the monthly now is where it gets me so excited. Look at the monthly. Like, if you look at H-bar in the monthly, you can see there's been, it's still got movement down. As to where XDC, if it wants to, XDC is so overblown sold. Look at that. It makes me speechless because I actually went back in the chart so many times now because I have to keep revaluing. Even now. Bye, Scar. Bye. I'll see you on Thursday. I even go back in the chart now and I look. You cannot get to a monthly oversold. Like, when you look at this, the only time you could do this is when it was at its peak of its low before that big breakout. Like, it's unbelievable that it's this low. Every time it's been this low, you have huge movement. And it took a while to come down and break down. And we can go into other charts, but this is the XinFin Network one. With XRP even, with that chart. Is that the one I was on? Did it go to that one? It did. That monthly, though, versus XRP is a big deal to me. But the monthly is the same thing as H-bar. I was going to say, it looked weird. Is it really that oversold now in the monthly versus XRP? That's even crazier. The weekly is just unbelievably low. And the amount of time it's dragged down here is craziness. Every time it's done this, we've had big moves. I mean, and the other thing with this is we're built on an all-time cup and handle. This reminds me of silver. Look at, if you want to relate like silver, silver took how many years to get out of its cup and handle? I mean, you've got the prototypical bullish setup here just waiting, and it's converging at the bottom of the structure on the handle. It's converging. Like, we're legitimately converging right now, and this looks like ass because it's still set up like on my phone. I hate when it does that. And I only realize it when I get into the weekly. Because when you're in the monthly and the daily, I'm looking at it from a higher level, so I'm not looking at the lower one. But I mean, it's played this like a champ. And it's still off. See how it's off? I hate that. There we go. But it's literally playing off of this pattern right now. Like, it's bounced down. It's converging. I mean, we're at a point now. If it breaks out here, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. Daily's massively oversold. Weekly's massively oversold. Monthly is pushing towards oversold. Like, this is the perfect recipe. We're within the margin of error now, I believe. Oh yeah, Frankie, Kraken, and I even showed it again today. I literally bought on the one purchase. It's cheap. It cost me $32 in fees when I bought, and then even on the sell, it's the same way. I've shown it a lot on Kraken Pro. It's actually worth it on Kraken to buy some of this stuff. Now, yeah, on DAG, and you got to pay attention because there's a lot less volatility. But like if you're buying XRP or XLM or XDC or HBAR, it's a good platform for a tier one. Like the fees, you can literally swing trade if you wanted to. I don't encourage it, but you could. Oh yeah, you can't use Kraken. I forgot New York, scumbags. Okay, I made it to 7 o'clock though. I wanted to see the crypto fear and greed index before I left. Somehow I knew I was going to be on an hour. It just wasn't going to happen any other way. But XDC still looks like it could pull down. If it ends up pushing down here in the 4 hourly, maybe we come back and validate coming back into this pattern. So, a lot to still be decided here, but I'm super excited about XDC's future. I think all of you are starting to realize just how much. I'm more excited now than I was before because everything's falling back into place now where it needs to, as far as in the perspective of the buy and sell, the buyers and sellers. And now the crypto fear and greed. What the hell is that? 26. Wow. I appreciate everybody who liked the live. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to have to call it a day here. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Be blessed.